This is the time of year when we want to look at our goals and reevaluate them and see if they worked, if we're happy with them, and if we want to carry what we are doing into the new year. So join me today as we talk about how to reevaluate your goals and see what you want to carry forward.
You have a story to tell, but you don't know where to start. Let me show you how to free your story. I teach you how to write and how to dig deep in your soul to release your story and make a difference in the world.
Welcome to the Julia Amante channel. If we're just meeting, I am Julia Amante. I'm a women's fiction author, and I'm here on Fridays to give you some writing tips so that you can complete your writing goals. So let's talk about that today. So reevaluating our goals is important because that is the only way that we know if what we're doing is working, right? So we want to look at what we've done, if we're happy with it, and if we want to change something so that we can complete our goals quicker, or we could do a better job at moving forward with what we're already doing. So there's three things that I like to look at. The first one is obviously my writing goal. Did I complete my writing goal? Did I finish a novel if that's what I said I was going to do? Or did I finish publishing if I'm in the publishing stage, or whatever my goal was for the year or the time period? I want to go back and I want to see if I accomplished it. And if I didn't, why not? What kept me from meeting that goal? What got in the way? Was it something logical, like illness or something that I really couldn't do anything about, or was it something that I had control over and I didn't use my time wisely, or was it something that I did, or was it just something external that kept me from meeting my goal? So what I want to do is look at that. That's the first thing I want to evaluate. The second thing that I personally want to look at is, did I expand my reach with readers? Was I on social media enough? Did I connect with readers? Did I make new readers or friends? What else can I do to interest and entertain readers, to get them interested in my brand and what I'm doing? And the third thing for me is, did I learn enough? Did I read enough books? Did I learn enough from other people that I can apply to my own writing, to my own career? So I'm always trying to move forward. It doesn't matter if, I've got 25 plus years in the business, but even if it was 30 or 40 or 50, I would always want to look at what other people are doing, what's working, what's not working, how can I change, how can I grow as a writer? Because there's always a possibility of that. There's always a way to do better, or as times change, to modernize or change what I'm doing so that, again, I'm meeting my readers' expectations. So to me, having a successful year means moving forward on those three goals. And notice I don't have anything there connected with money or sales of novels or anything like that, that honestly, it's really hard to control. You don't know how the audience is going to react to your stories or your novels. All you can do is produce the best story that you can write, but you have no control over whether it's going to do well, whether it's going to sell, whether people are going to like it, people are not going to like it. You want to listen to that, but you have no real control over people's reactions to what you're writing. So what are some things that you can ask yourself about your goals in order to be able to evaluate them and see if you are progressing, if you're doing well? So I wrote down a few things. One is, what goal do you need to look back at and reevaluate? What is the most important for your success? So out of the goals that you had, which one do you feel is the most important, that would move you forward more? For most of us, it's really going to be completing the stories, because if we don't have our writing done, then it's really hard to move forward as a writer. So that's probably the most important, but you need to look at your goals and say, okay, which one was that if I did this, I would move forward? Maybe you're at a point right now where you're still learning and you're still working on, your craft and your skills. And maybe the most important thing for you would have been taking some classes or reading certain books. So look at your goals and say, okay, did I move forward on this? Which one was the most important one? The other thing is, what will make you happier and feel better if you made adjustments for the next year. So, what's going to make you happier? What's going to make you feel more successful? What's going to make an impact on you as a person and as a writer if you make just a few tweaks or a few changes? What can you do to make things better? It could be a variety of things, right? It could be that you cut out maybe time wasters, or maybe it is that you dedicate more time to writing, or it could be, whatever it is. What can you change in order to do better? The next thing is, are you where you want to be in your career? If not, again, what changes do you need to make in order to progress and to finish your stories or to get published, or whatever it is that your goal is? Are you where you want to be right now? I mean, obviously we all want to be selling 1 million books and be at the bestseller, but within your goals, within the goals that you set for the year, did you meet them? Are you where you expected to be today? The next question is, are you making the most out of your writing time? So are you wasting time taking too long for tasks, or doing things that just are unimportant and that are not helpful to you? So if you are, sometimes it's hard to even think about what those might be. Like, are you, not everything that's obvious, right? Like, not, watching TV, okay, could be a white time waster, but there are some other things that we do that could be time wasters. Like, are we taking too long to fold the laundry just right so we can get it all organized? And it's like, sometimes we waste time doing stuff that it doesn't really matter. Fold it, put it in the drawer. It'll be there next time. It doesn't have to be perfect. So sometimes we're wasting time doing things too perfect or too, specific, and we can just move forward if it's not quite perfect. Maybe maybe the house isn't perfectly clean, and that's okay, because it can be a time waster, right? It's not moving you forward with your goals. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I'll dust a little bit. I'll do something to get it clean, but it's not, you don't need to spend so much time. The other thing is, are your writing skills strong enough to achieve your writing goals? So if not, then how can you strengthen them? And where do you feel that there's a weakness, or there's something that you can get help with? So again, you can get help, right? You don't have to do this on your own. You don't have to struggle. You can go in and watch more videos. You can read posts. You can buy books. You can do all kinds of things. You can take some courses. You can go to conferences. So there's a lot you can do to strengthen your writing if you feel like you're not there yet. And there's always, like I said, there's always something, right, that you can do. I feel that way. There's something that I can always do to improve. So there's always something that I'm reading to try to get a little better. And then, are your goals realistic in relation to the obligations that you currently have? So sometimes we don't have time wasters. Sometimes we really seriously have just a lot of stuff going on in our life. We have our job, we have our children, we have our pets, we have our home, we have all these things, we have our bills, right? So all of these things have to get done. They're not time wasters. They're things that are just part of our life that we need to take care of. So are you realistic in the goals that you thought? So if you said you were going to write like an entire novel within that year and you didn't, was it because you wasted time, or was it because you really weren't realistic? Like, there was no way that you were going to even be able to write for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours every day, that you really needed, maybe 30 minutes a day, and that's good. So you might want to adjust as you reevaluate the time that you say you have for writing, and be realistic about it, but then be focused on that. So if you say, I really do have 30 minutes, then really focus on those 30 minutes. Once you've figured out then and reevaluated what worked, what didn't work last year, then what you want to do is go through and create your new goals, right? So what now do you think is reasonable, that you can do, that you would like to do in the new year? So as you move forward, you're going to rewrite your new goals. So one of the things that I had to do is I had to look at all my different types of writing. So I have my novels, I have blogs, right? I needed to look at it and say, well, what exactly am I going to do? I was writing, when I first started writing, I was writing blogs every single day. And I just wanted kind of to challenge myself to write one a day and see how I do. And I did pretty well the first year. Last year, though, I decided, well, no, I have a novel to write this year. I need to write my novel, so I cannot spend this much time writing blogs. I enjoy it. I like writing. I like giving tips to other writers, but I need to get my novel done too. So I said I'm going to write just 3 blogs a week, and the rest of the time I'm going to dedicate to my novel, which is what I did. So sometimes we just need to make those kind of adjustments. So going into the new year, my goals changed. So I was no longer going to write a blog every day, but I was going to focus mostly on my novel. And even if time got tough, I would cut even one more blog so that I had time to write my novel, because that was priority number one. So once you're ready, then of course you have your large goals, you need to break those down. So you can look at goal setting, read books on goal setting, but they all recommend the same thing, right? They all say that what you need to do is you need to take your large goals and you need to break those down into smaller goals, right? So what am I, this is my big goal for the year, write the novel, let's say. What am I going to do in January, right? What am I going to do this first quarter? What do I need to get done? Maybe I need to write the first quarter of my novel. Maybe I need to write the first half of my novel. It depends on how fast you write. Maybe I'm just going to write the first few chapters, right? I'm going to write 1 chapter per month. So once you kind of determine what it is that you can do within your time frame, then you look at your quarterly goals, then you break those down. What are you going to do each month, and then what are you going to do each week, and so forth, until you know pretty much what you're going to do every single day, which, I don't break it down that much, right? So I will for the first quarter of the year, but then later on in the year, I leave it like, okay, this is pretty much what I'm going to do. And then I go and I revise as the year goes by. You need to do that. You need to break them down into smaller goals that are achievable and that are something that you can shoot for and that you will get done that month or that week or that day. And of course you want to schedule that, right? You want to have a planner, and in that planner you want to have all that written down. People do all kinds of stuff. So some people have planners, some people have vision boards, which are good, but to me they're too vague. Like, I really need a planner. I really need to know exactly what I'm going to be doing, and I really need my projects broken down and so that I can see them. Other people have on their walls, they have the calendar, and they have things on that. I've seen all kinds of stuff. Kanban boards are really good too, because you're actually putting down, right, with little stickers, what you will achieve that quarter, that month, and so forth, and you move them down as you achieve them. So it's like, this is everything I have to do, then this is what I'm going to get done this week or this month. And then once you do them, you move them down and you see that they're done. It's a very nice visual way of seeing what you're doing. So any way you want to do it, but I do recommend having a planner to write down exactly what it is that you need to achieve and what your goals are, because it's all in one place, right? It's kind of like your Bible. Here is everything I need to do for this year. And then you can put them up, visualize it, put them on calendars, wherever you want to do after that. Okay, then the next step, once you have it planned out, is to think about what are the resources that you're going to need in order to be able to achieve these goals. So do you need a quiet place to work? Do you need a new computer? Do you need to clean out your computer? I need to do that. I need to clean my computer out because I'm running out of room. So that's one of the things that I need to get done. So, look at that. Like, what are the resources that you need, and go out and get them. How can you get them? Do you need, again, more books? Do you need help? Then find a way to get that. Sometimes it's hard. Like, it's like, okay, it costs money, right? So sometimes, like, going to a conference is going to cost money. How do you do that? Well, can you set aside a little bit of money from your paycheck? Can you do extra little things to get money for that trip or whatever, or that course? But you don't want to not do the things that you need to do in order to move forward, because that's what, when I first started, it was expensive. Like, I looked at conferences and they were, gosh, it was expensive back then, and I think it was like $300, and then it was $500, and then it's, now it's ridiculous. But that's just for the conference. And then I had to pay for airfare, and then I had to pay for a hotel, and of course food and everything else. It ended up being, a $2,000 event. And it's like, wow, this is a lot of money, but it's an investment in you, in getting better, right? It's the same reason people go to college in order to get their degree and to get their education. You're investing in your future career. So yes, it's expensive, but figure out how to do it. I know I took like extra teaching jobs, or if there was an extra event, at the college, like take this workshop and learn how to whatever, right? How to create your plans for online students. Okay, well, I'll do that. We pay $1,000 for that. Okay, well, I'll do that, right? So I would do these extra things so that I could put money away. So I had that. So whatever resources you need, figure out what they are, figure out how to get them. Sometimes you can just trade or barter. Sometimes, there are different things you can do, or borrow books. You don't have to buy them if you can't afford them. You can go to the library and, hopefully they're there, or, there's a variety of ways that you can get the things you need, but get them however you need to get them so that you can get better, get stronger as a writer. Okay, another thing as you are planning this and succeeding hopefully with your goals is to remember to celebrate and reward yourself for a job well done. So as you're moving forward and as you're doing well with your goals, then what you want to do is, again, give yourself a little reward. It could be a nice cup of coffee and 30 minutes just to relax, or it could be whatever it is that makes you feel like, okay, I did a good job here and I'm going to do well. And then keep notes of what you're doing, because at the end of the year, you're going to want to reevaluate again. Did this work? Did I do better this time? And if you have that written down, if you are checking things off as as you're completing them and doing that little celebration, then it's going to be a lot easier when you get to the end of the year to look back and say, well, let me see, I have little gold stars here for everything that I achieved, everything that I did. Because sometimes we get to the end of the year and we're like, oh man, I didn't get the book finished. I didn't achieve my goal, but there were all kinds of things that you did do. You did read these certain books. You did get better. You did get stronger. You did learn. Maybe you got a critique partner or whatever, right, that made things better for you, that you actually did grow. Even if you didn't get that novel finished, you got better, so that the following year you're way ahead, okay, way ahead of where you were last year. So take time to reevaluate your goals, take time to replan them, and then move forward in the new year with hopefully some excitement and more success than you had the previous year. As long as we have more success every year and we are moving forward towards our goal, I think we are being successful. So good luck to you, and hit the like and the share button if this was helpful, and come back next week and I will have another hopefully helpful video for you. Bye-bye.